Shabbat Shalom, L'chaim, L'chaim. This week's Torah portion is Shoftim, and as the name suggests, it's obviously about judges, kings, Naviim, the prophets, and it goes into details about how to tell who's a false prophet, and then speaks about false witnesses and all different kinds of ideas and rulings and things to do with how we judge ourselves in day-to-day life. And Ayala and I were learning the parsha this week, and we came across a line that it says, a king should not acquire too many horses so that he will not take the people back down to Egypt, for it's forbidden to go back down that path. And Ayala raised a very good question. She says, why does it say path? Why doesn't it say you're forbidden to go back to that place? Why does it say to go back on that derech? And she offered an answer, and I'll give a few interpretations. But her answer was that the Jews came down to Egypt originally by selling their brother. When they sold Joseph, he went down to Egypt, and eventually that's how it all unfolded, that they ended up in Egypt as well. And so how do we prevent ourselves? What are we forbidden from doing? Is from selling our brother, from forsaking the poor, from not being around to help our fellow Jews. And I took that message really to heart and said that's what it's all about. Not going back down to Egypt means don't forsake your brother. We need to take care of one another. A beautiful idea in unity. But there's another idea that we thought about. And the idea that we suggested was, it says that a king should not acquire too many horses so that he'll not go back down to Egypt, so that he'll not go on that path. So it seems to imply that it's because of his acquisitions, meaning that he's on an acquisition trail, that he's trying to acquire too many things. And sometimes in life, when we're so focused on getting more things, acquiring more, whatever it's money or objects, whatever it is, sometimes we can become limited by all those things we're trying to acquire. So it's important for all of us to remember that it's not about what we acquire. In fact, what's most important is what we give. That's really what you maintain in your life and what you carry with you in the world to come, is the things that you give, not the things that you get. And so all of us must remember, it's good to acquire things. We need things in our life, but don't acquire too much. Don't go crazy and try to acquire so many things that you end up limiting yourself. And a good example of this is it's all about Ashiras, being rich. Joseph brought his whole family down to Egypt because he was the viceroy. He was so rich and wealthy that he said, come down, I'll provide for you. And so richness is sometimes our biggest limitation. If you look at the world today, we have things like ChatGPT. It's a huge, resource for many people. People are using ChatGPT to write books, to write their essays in college, to fill out applications. It's a huge resource, but it can also cripple us. It can also limit us because people will forget how to write a simple essay, how to write a simple letter. And so it's important for all of us to remember we mustn't acquire too much. We must remember, yes, it's good to be rich. It's good to have all these things, but don't let it cripple us. Don't let it limit us. And that's one of the other messages that we learn from this. And also what we see with Hashem. Hashem is the person who does the sort of Montessori education, telling us, guys, go, figure it out yourself. Try your hand at it. You can do this yourself. You don't need me. You don't need everything I can offer you. Because if I just give you, I'll actually end up crippling you. In the end of the day, you need to work yourself. So B'ezras Hashem, all of us should merit to continue to try our hand, to put in our shtadlus, especially now during the month of Elul, and to focus on the things that are most important, on giving, on taking care of our brothers and sisters, and unity. B'ezras Hashem will be matzliach, and this year we'll crown the king for real. B'ezras Hashem with Mashiach Tzidkenu. Shabbat Shalom.